If you want to buy cheap US stocks with a future in 2022, you should first know some things about them to reduce the level of risk involved. A cheap price does not necessarily mean that it is a promising investment opportunity. So we don't buy it just because it's cheap. 6 cheap US stocks have a future for those who do not have enough experience to choose the best cheap US stocks. Cheap stocks mean those stocks that are trading at a price of less than $5 per share. As defined by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission for cheap stocks. 1. Quantum Computing Company. According to IBM, New York Stock Exchange, IBM, quantum computers will be much better than current supercomputers at solving complex problems. The tech giant says quantum computers will easily be able to solve problems that blight many types of businesses and help create great new products. Examples of recent solutions include much better electric vehicle batteries and bodies that reduce carbon emissions. Quantum computing provides software that will enable companies to easily use quantum computing. So it looks like quantum computing has a first-mover advantage in the race to become Microsoft's global quantum computing company. The company's chief technology officer, Michael Booth, has a wealth of experience in quantum computing and supercomputing. While the company's CEO, Robert Laskowski, has a great deal of managerial experience and likely has many excellent contacts in both government and the industry. This stock, as one of the cheapest promising U.S. stocks in 2022, was previously traded at more than $7, but it is now trading at $2.81, and its price is likely to rise in the coming days. Despite all these competitive advantages, CUT's current market capitalization is only $91 million. 2. Aero Company. Aero has two big advantages, having carved out a potentially lucrative niche in the electric vehicle space that doesn't seem to have much competition, and is partnering with Gallery Carts, which has many high-end clients in this good niche. Aero exited Wall Street in recent months because its operating expenses quadrupled in the third quarter compared to the same period a year earlier, and this also caused its losses to balloon year over year. But on the plus side, and unlike many EV startups, the Aero is making meaningful sales, with its highest sales level last quarter reaching over $559,000. Furthermore, the company reported that it received a total of $4.9 million in orders for the new Club Car Current in the second and third quarters. In September, Aero appointed a new CEO, Thomas M. Wittenschlager, who has a significant amount of management experience in the technology and transportation sectors. It is believed that Wittenschlager will be able to control the company's expenses, since Aero has $77 million in cash and didn't have debt until the end of the third quarter and then lost $12 million in the last quarter. It still has some time to rectify the situation. Furthermore, with Aero shares trading with a market capitalization of only $57.5 million, the shares are undervalued at this point at $1.17. Ultimately, investors only care about one thing: returns. This is the reason why Aero stock is one of the most attractive cheap stocks and makes it the cheapest stock in the US market, promising this list. 3. Electramechanica Vehicles. Solo EV stock, is another undervalued stock. Specifically, this stock has a market value of just $144 million, and even though the company had more than 23,000 solo pre-orders and over 41,000 Tofino Sports EV pre-orders in 2018, and that was before Electramechanica started promoting the solo stock in earnest, before the EV stock craze really started. Recently, the company started building a massive plant in Mesa, Arizona. And it looks like this automaker really has a huge number of orders under its belt. It's very hard to believe that the company will build a 235,000 square foot plant in the United States unless it truly sees significant and steady demand for its electric vehicles. Given the huge benefits Solo has to both deliveries and remote workers, it seems like it makes a lot of sense for this automaker to capitalize on the massive demand for the Electramechanica vehicles. Like most of the other cheap US stocks on this list, Solo is listed on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange. With a significant history of upside, analysts expect that the price of this stock will rise soon. And it is currently trading at $2.01. 4. iKid Company. iKid used artificial intelligence to create a breast cancer detection system. Its product is more accurate than other breast cancer detection tools, with the advantage of saving a significant amount of time for radiologists. Meanwhile, the iKid Zoff device, which treats brain glioblastomas, has been shown to be more effective than standard care therapies on the market. The company said that Zoft could generate significantly more revenue than its breast cancer detection system. Encouragingly, the company's sales in the third quarter of 2021 were up 20% compared to the second quarter and 31% year-over-year to $9.4 million. But despite all the positive catalysts for iKid, the 12-month lagged PS ratio for iKid stock is only 4.6%. It's also worth noting that the company recently revealed a prototype of a new DNA mapping system that works at 4 times the speed of the Sapphire. Like most of the stocks included in this list of the top 7 cheapest and promising American stocks 2022, this stock is listed on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange. It is currently trading at $2.05. 5. Bionano Genomics. The company came out with a DNA mapping product, which will likely have a very strong long-term demand and is now constantly making further progress. In a December 27 note to investors, Oppenheimer analyst Kevin DeGeeter estimated that Bionano sold 156 products in 2021. That's higher than the company had expected. Furthermore, the analyst reported that clinical studies of Bionano were well recorded. Most importantly, sales of devices used with the Sapphire are on the rise and should continue to do so this year. This analyst recommended investors to buy these stocks and set a very encouraging target price of $14. It is also worth noting that the company recently revealed a prototype of a new DNA mapping system that works at 4 times the speed of Sapphire. Like most of the stocks included in this list of the top 6 cheapest and promising American stocks 2022, this stock is listed on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange. It is currently trading at $2.05. 6. Zincate Energy. The company says that Zincate Energy storage systems can store electricity for 8 hours or more. Furthermore, the amount of energy stored by a ZES product can be increased without purchasing additional fuel cells. Testing of Zincate's ZES product is scheduled to be completed in March 2022, so ZERF stock could have a huge positive catalyst for its price hike soon. Both California and the U.S. Congress are looking to implement additional tax credits on renewable energy, which would be good news for energy storage systems. Also encouraging, in November 2021, Tom Hodgson, former CEO of Lithium Americas Corporation and current president of Greenbrook Capital Partners, joined Zincate's board of directors, indicating that the company already has tremendous potential for growth and prosperity. This stock is one of the cheapest promising U.S. stocks 2022, and it is listed on the iKid stock exchange and is currently trading at 19 cents.